All right, hey guys, here we are, hole 7. Now, one of the things that I'm thinking about for this one, just given what I'm seeing here, I'm thinking about going over, trying to get over here. Biggest thing that I'm worried about is what is the correct amount of topspin. So right now I'm down at kind of like 3 or 4. Let's just try this. I like the look of this. You see I'm about almost 2 rings from the edge there. And we're going to go 8.5 rings here. Just a hair of power. Let's just see what 3 topspin looks like. So far so good. That's too much topspin. So that was my first time doing that, so I really don't know what to do. I might pitch it backwards so you can just kind of ease off the topspin even more than I did. So if I went about 3, maybe even just go straight side spin, to be honest with you. But I'm thinking about trying to get over here. It looks like a pretty clean look for this wind. I'll probably just end up pitching it back, to be honest with you, just so we can kind of see exactly. Now let's see what my opponent does. Another thing I was maybe thinking was running it down this hill, but I didn't really want to do that. Biggest reason, it looks like you might be able to have some sort of rough bump there, but I'm a little worried about that rough bump because into the wind and a crosswind, I think you're going to have some problems, very similar to that 4th, 5th hole, whatever the other rough bump par 4 was. And if you were to go over there and try for that shot, oh, it looks like just too far there. But if you were to try to go for some sort of bump there, you could have that glitchy type with the elevation, with it, you know, difference between where the green is and where the fairway is. You could end up with some problems. So what I would recommend is maybe back off to just straight side spin. Try to get it to where I just did here. And, you know, maybe, you know, try side spin, try 1 back spin. I really don't think we need to get aggressively far on this shot. So it really doesn't matter if it gets up there by the hole or does, like if you get it up there to like the very tip top of that fairway, or leave it back just a little bit. I really don't think distance is going to be an issue here. I kind of feel like we're kind of right in between the B52 here. Either way. So let's just see what it looks like here. And if I can, I'm going to try to use some sort of offset technique here. Well, we're getting a little bit towards max club here. Just a touch. Looks like there is definitely some slope. You can see that it kind of, the ball guide kind of positions itself just a little bit more left as I kind of work down this hill. So what you'll see, I'm probably going to use some sort of offset technique. You'll see that I'll keep this ball guide through the hole, kind of look like this, more or less. See, I'm pretty close to max club, so I'm going to use pretty close to a max adjustment, which I'm thinking at least 13.5 here, maybe even 14. Very close. So that's probably 13.8 or so, I would imagine, in the ball plus the ball guide offset. That's the key. So if you don't do that ball guide offset, you know, you're definitely going to wind, and still, it looks like I'm still considerably light, a little bit on both probably. So a little bit light on my wind effect and probably a little bit light on my ring adjustment. I would say it's probably a combination. So you'll want to offset that guide just a little bit more to the left, and I would say maybe 1 more ring on top of what I did. So at 11.4 or whatever it was, maybe go 15 straight up. So, and that's something, you know, you can use your calculator for. If you want to go 15 straight up, you just play around with this. It's about plus 10, give or take. And I also use the max, even though I wasn't at max. So maybe it's more closer to this. And I can't remember for sure it was 11.4, but I'm just trying to do something along the lines of this. So you can see plus 20%. And then you can see, since I wasn't quite at max, I'm just kind of backing off, 80% club or somewhere in that. This is in the ballpark of what you would want to do for the adjustment. And then what you always want to do is you'll want to size up the hole, say, where was my +0 line, and just try to find that line. And then next time you play this hole, if that line changes, if it's farther away, then that means you're going to have more air time. It's going to need more ring adjustment. If that +0 line is, if you're closer to the hole, then you're going to have less air time. So you're going to have to go under this ring adjustment. So maybe the adjustment that I went would have been just a little bit closer had I been closer to the hole. So if I get down that hill just a little bit closer to the bottom, where the green is, or where the edge of the fairway is, then I know that I'm closer to the hole and potentially need to go less rings because of that. So keep that in mind. Good luck, and I'll see you guys on